think it's pretty safe to say that politics are divisive. There are a lot of hot button topics like immigration, the police, healthcare, but none are as polarizing as abortion. Now in this video, I'm not going to explain why I agree or disagree with CM Punk's shirt, but rather why I don't think he should have worn it. I'm one of those people in the minority when it comes to wrestling because I think everything is fair game. There are some topics that are a little bit more touchy. You know, when you discuss race, you have to use a gentle hand, but it can be done in an important way. There are some topics that I think are in bad taste, but I'm fine with them being used. Things like necrophilia, making fun of someone's actual physical disability, or bringing up the death of someone who actually died. These kinds of things can be done in wrestling, much like how they're used in a television show, where you can use those angles to make a point, or ultimately sell tickets. You want to see the black guy beat up the racist white guy. You want to see the guy who was accused of being a necrophiliac beat up the guy who called him a necrophiliac. You want to see the guy stick up for his dead friend and beat up the other guy. The thing that gets me with CM Punk's shirt is that it's not going to sell any tickets. You see, sports are a place where you go to kind of escape. For those few hours you're watching a football game, you don't want to think about actual real life problems. So in the context of him wearing that shirt without any kind of story behind it, it takes you out of what you're watching. There's not going to be an angle built off of his shirt. So basically, CM Punk probably pissed off 50% of the audience, because whether you want to admit it or not, the pro-life, pro-choice, they're pretty much 50-50. So when you wear a shirt like that, 50% of your audience is going to be turned off. Now, is 50% of your audience going to turn it off completely and never watch again? No. Will 10%? Probably not. Will 5%? Doubtful. But let's say 2.5% of your audience will never watch your show again because CM Punk wanted to make a statement. Are you willing to lose 25,000 viewers because you wanted to make a statement? How many viewers are you going to cost the company that you work for on the station that that company is on just to make a point? Now, I'm not saying you can't have your opinion. That's fine. You can have that opinion other places, but something as guttural as abortion should not be involved in wrestling, because you're really going to upset a lot of people. And, you know, wrestling upsets people, but not in this context, because next week I doubt MJF and FTR are going to be wearing shirts that say every life matters or abortion is murder. It's not going to happen. So how many fans of your product can you lose selfishly just to get your point across? Now, going past that, you have to think about things like sponsors. Now, whether you want to admit it or not, there are a lot of conservative sponsors who might want to put money into your product. What are you going to do when those sponsors see the main event of your show and see that shirt and say they don't want to be associated with that? They don't want the commercial for their restaurant or their furniture company or whatever it might be. They don't want that commercial to be played right after that shirt is shown. Now, is CM Punk willing to lose sponsors for the company that he owns because of his shirt? I don't know, maybe he is. But let's think about this in the other way. Now, you might have seen CM Punk run down to the ring and turn around with his nice little baby blue shirt on and just get a big kick out of it and say, that's funny, I agree with that. But what if he ran down to the ring, chased off FTR and MJF, he turned around and his baby blue t-shirt said, abortion is murder? What if it said, there are only two genders? What if CM Punk's shirt said homosexuality is a sin? That would turn off viewers, sponsors, and just a whole lot of people. So ask yourself, is it worth losing potential fans just so you can get your opinion out there?